Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here with the Corvette. So we've started to, I finally broke down and went and got new tires. So I just went and picked them up, and we've got the Barham, what are these? Barham Bravius 5HMs in a 245/40 18. C6 wheels. Obviously, I've mentioned that in the past. This car is not a high horsepower car. It doesn't go very fast. It doesn't get driven a whole lot. I mean, like I said in the past, less than 3,000 miles a year. So I just went with a cheap, but it got rated good tire. They were 110 bucks a piece, plus mounting and balancing. So for the two fronts, it was 290 bucks. But the tread pattern should be pretty good. So then now I'll get these barrels cleaned up and get the old adhesive and everything off, and before we go back on. But while we're off and I've got the car up in the air, we're going to paint the calipers, which I've already started. I have a story to tell you about that. But so I'm going with a white primer. That ought to keep everything nice and bright. I don't want to use a black primer. It has a tendency to darken things up. Also, we've got a case of transmission fluid, and then I've got filter for my truck and a filter for the Vette. So while it's in the air, we'll change both of those. But I've got both sides primered up. Went through and sprayed them with some super clean, and then hit them with some brake clean, and then wiped them down with some rubbing alcohol, because that supposedly worked. I watched a couple YouTube videos. I do have the ass end in the air, but the way it's got a monoleaf. The Corvettes, in case you guys didn't know, the front and rear spring on this particular car is a monoleaf. So it just droops really bad. So I'll probably just do the fronts, do the tranny service, back the car around, jack up the rear end and do it. And then before the State Corvette meet, I'm going to take this and get it buffed. Can you see all the micro scratches in the paint from washing? But anyways, that red paint on that caliper. So I bought some Rust-Oleum caliper paint, right? Went to open this top, and the goddamn thing broke. And then it just douched my stuff. So back to Walmart, or actually went back to, this stuff's from Walmart. I went to Home Depot and got, now before you guys chastise me, like I said, this car doesn't get hot rodded. It doesn't get hot. I don't do hard braking. You know, we don't do a whole lot. So, and I've watched a couple other videos that have done the same thing. So I just went and got some regular old Rust-Oleum paint, not a high temp by any means, but I figured the apple red would look pretty good. It's going to be more of a satin, not a gloss, which is cool. I can handle that. And then with the white primer, we should have a nice bright color. And in case you guys didn't know, Corvette calipers are aluminum, so they're fairly easy to clean. You don't have to get the rust and stuff off, but they clean up pretty good in that. So I needed another can, so we're going to try this Rust-Oleum white aluminum primer on the rears and see how well that does. So for like I said, for the cleaning process, sprayed it down with brake clean, hit it with the wire brush, or actually super clean first, hit it with the wire brush, super clean again, let it soak, and then brake clean and wash it all down into a tub, and then wiped it down with the hand sanitizer, because hand sanitizer contains isopropyl alcohol, which also help clean all that stuff. So the primers and oils and everything are all gone. So now I'm going to go through and get some coats of red on there, and I'll show you when we're done. All right, so that's just one light coat. I've got one light coat on both sides. So we'll do a light coat, let it dry for about 10 to 15 minutes, do a little heavier coat, make sure we get some coverage let that dry for a bit, and then do a third and final coat and make sure it's good and everything's good and covered and thick. So probably do maybe 3 to 4 coats on each one, and then we'll go from there. All right guys, so here's the final color. I'm just waiting for everything to dry so I can pull the garbage bags off and put the tires back on. But while we're doing that, I pulled the tranny pan, and it is pretty damn clean. Probably didn't need to change the fluid, but we're going to do it anyway. Put a new filter in, and I have one bolt that's just absolutely fucked. See that whole top of that threads is missing, so I'll probably have to silicone the shit out of this one and put it back in. But we'll get that tranny pan emptied out, get it cleaned up, and then new gasket, new filter. It's just preventative maintenance. I mean, we're like I said, it doesn't hardly get driven, so I probably won't have to do this again for another 10 years. So we'll get that handled and get everything put back together and turn it around and do the rears. All right, day 2 of working on the Vette. It is Easter Sunday, so there's probably nothing going to get done today, but we've got the tranny service complete, and that took about 6.5 quarts, I think, to do it. 5.5 quarts, something like that. I put like 4 or 5 quarts in, took it for a drive, had to add a little bit more, so that's good to go. But come over to my mess. New tires are on. Nice shiny bright red calipers. For that supposedly being a satin, it's pretty bright, seems pretty glossy, so still got the rears to do. But like I said, it is Easter Sunday, and
in 325 AD, a group of Christian bishops known as
it's windy and snowy out here, and we had an inch of snow on the ground this morning, so nothing getting done today. So you guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.